Personally, 2024 and also the tech, as you have put it, it changed my career direction. I was a journalist. From being a journalist, now a digital media expert.
Nice.
Now trying to get a niche into the AI space and also make the positive use of AI into digital media and also
I also think that the big playground was social media.
Oh yeah, for
in
sure.
technology last year. TikTok had a blast. I mean,
That's for
TikTok
sure.
became huge and big. So there was a lot of growth in social media. We are in an era of content on demand. People want to get the content they want.
Yeah.
Wait,
Deep fake. I'm sorry, nimeenda haraka sana.
Tafadhali, mimi ni generation ya newspapers.
I'm a fact checker personally, you see. So the issues of deepfakes is more serious on giving the accuracy of something.
I think we also know that we have a lot of expectations based on tech in this year. Sindio?
And by the way, what is AI? Situanze hapo.
Tunajua yetu RAM yetu inakuanga kadogo sana.
From your fridge, you'll be telling your fridge, I'm about to come home, so start warming the food.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who see things differently.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hello there. Welcome to Tech YZ podcast. This is 2025, our first episode of the year. We are letting you know what happened in 2024 and now on the trends to 2025. Big shout out to our sponsors here, kilakitu.co.ke. You can check them out and order whatever you need from them. Yeah, welcome guys. I would like to know your name, please.
My name is Jacob Mosenda. I'm a journalist and a digital media expert. Welcome to Tech YZ 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Saji or Gordon Mutsugi. I'm with Kila Kitu. I'm a techpreneur, techlanthropist, everything technology. That's my bread and butter.
Nice. So briefly, we're going to talk about what happened in 2024 in regards to tech. What did you see? What did you observe? And what are the big changes we're looking forward that is bringing a transition into this year? So I'll go forth with, let's just start. Na vitu zili happened to within home. We noticed last year we had protests and we had all these things. The things we've just been talking about through last year. And one of the major forces of these things and the activism was the internet and Twitter, TikTok, you name it. We had every way of people communicating and having a way to say what they had to say. So on your side, do you think that was a good thing or a bad thing?
Personally, 2024 and also the tech, as you have put it, it changed my career direction. I was a journalist. From being a journalist, now a digital media expert.
Nice.
Now trying to get a niche into the AI space and also make the positive use of AI into digital media and also
Oh yeah, also because uko media ulikuwa una face a lot of what was going on directly.
Exactly.
All right, that's nice. And
2024, I think 2024 was quite big for tech, especially in Kenya. AI made an entrance.
Yeah.
We started seeing a lot of AI-driven activities. I think the whole issue of Internet of Things, stuff to do with the machines and equipment that are technology-driven. I also think that the big playground was social media.
Oh yeah, for
in
sure.
technology last year. There was a lot of, I think Twitter went down a bit. TikTok had a blast. I mean,
That's for
TikTok
sure.
became huge and big. So there was a lot of growth in social media from a tech point of view. I also think that from a corporate side, very many companies started, appreciating and adopting big data. It has to do with data was big.
Okay.
And we also saw growth of e-commerce.
Yeah.
There was a lot of e-commerce growth.
E.g. Kila Kitu.
For example, Kila Kitu. So 2024 was what we can call the new frontier that started, the tech revolution that is expected even to go in the next couple of years.
Just to add on that, in the country, in Kenya, for example, let's talk of Kenya, and also many other countries in Africa also realized the need for social media and creating social change. Just from the Maandamano thing in Kenya that also blew up on social media, even for the first time ever, I don't know, even in the world, a president convening a meeting on X that has never been, you see, and many others that have been following all along, making use of social media and also technology in bringing social change in the community.
Talking of which, especially from a political front, I think Trump was a big beneficiary. I mean, of social media,
By
digital
far,
media.
X, to be precise.
To be precise. I think the entire team just dumped the traditional media. The CNNs of this world, Al Jazeera, just dumped,
BBC.
and that is one of the big wins in as far as digital media was concerned last year. One of the standouts for last year.
Politically, I feel like for Trump, that was a big win for him because he was able to campaign, to send in anything he wanted to dictate to his people, even to the people who didn't support him. He was able to reach them through social media the most. He was able to go against his opponent the most using the social media platforms we have. He would post one thing in like an hour, it's trending all over the world, only because algorithm yake ilikuwa ina build up quickly because he's speaking from, you are a fan of Trump, right? Pick, then it goes to G because G has your contact, then the algorithm keeps going and going and going. So yes, again, it is a way that has been able to give even politicians a way to campaign and get to their people more easily.
To just dig deep on that, can you say that it's a plus that led to Trump's winning than his opponent, Kamala Harris, in the election?
Yeah.
You mean X?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, in a big way. In a big way because, first of all, Trump had been demonized, by the traditional media in the US.
Yeah.
And he had no, space to, reach out to people and even express or have them view him differently. The fact that he embraced, digital media, I think he was on, 1,000,001 podcasts, and the good thing with that is that you segment, you are very clear on who you want to reach, because we are in an era of content on demand. People want to get the content they want, So, and I think, in a very big way, over and above Trump winning the elections, I think this also starts to spell death for traditional media.
True.
I mean, a couple of years from now, I don't know who will be buying newspapers. A couple of years from now, I don't know who will be sitting at 9 o'clock watching news. I mean, can you imagine in your generation that you have to wait until 9 p.m. to know what happened in the day? Because that's how we grew up. I know. That's
sad. Oops.
So you can imagine in the next couple of years, I mean, why watch TV? You been to Netflix, you watch the movie, the trending movies. If it's news, you have breaking news on your phone. So I think media was a big loser, traditional media, and I think it will continue being even as we go to 2025.
Is it a trajectory for even other nations to embrace the issues of social media, like in terms of campaigns? Like Tanzania is having elections this year. Kenya in the next 2.5 years, you're having an election. Is it a trajectory for other countries to make good use of social media like X and others for campaigns and also mobilizing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course, but it's it's a double-sided sword.
Because again,
as a politician, it can hit you one way, or you can use it in a good way, or the public can use it too. There's no regulation. Anybody can say anything they want.
Yeah, that's why even deep fakes are coming in, where one politician would use a deep fake to make the other politician look bad or become bad. Again, you don't know what to filter in the internet, Like you'd get information you're about to have.
Wait,
Deep fake. I'm sorry, nimeenda haraka sana.
Tafadhali, mimi ni generation ya newspapers. So what is deep fake?
So deep fake is videos created by digital software to manipulate, or rather to be able to personalize someone else's data into someone else. You
For
get
example?
what I'm saying? For example, I have G in this room, but I still want to make G look in the other, like he's in the room making the wrong news. So I'll use your face and what I know about you from the media itself.
Yeah.
And then I use it to the other room and make the wrong things about you. And people will believe it's you because they see me no so ya G hapa.
So you're talking of the ability to use my body, but you put a face and it's a video and somebody thinks it's me.
Yeah, and someone is so sure that he said hata niko na evidence kwa karatasi, you know.
Is that what we are seeing people in coffins and is that
Yeah,
the deep?
that's exactly what you are seeing. But you know, when deepfakes came, like after COVID, around when it started picking up in most countries, last year we had over 70 countries having elections, and deepfakes were used mostly to spread misinformation. I'm a fact checker personally. So the point we reached when fact checking on deepfakes came to a backslide. It's when those who are generating deepfakes were more than those who are fact checking or debunking the news or false news about deepfakes. So I think the peak in which deepfakes are spreading and the people who are countering them back is
You're saying spreading as if it's a negative thing.
Yes,
because
how is it negative?
if I use a deepfake about you that is something negative,
but
then definitely that's negative.
But it's a new age technology. I mean, it's just like a cartoonist in the 90s. They used a fake, drawing. I mean, what's the difference between a cartoon, all right, and your deepfake?
The difference between a cartoon and a deepfake is that a deepfake looks like a real person. Like it's not a cartoon.
The accuracy.
It's not ati mtu amechora something there. No, it's your whole face, the way you're structured, you know. So that's the big difference we're having with the deepfake.
But it is the intention of technology to make things as real as possible, including art.
Yes, and that's why we're not saying no to it. We're just saying that there should be a regulation on how we use these things and how other people are using it to abuse other ones. Because hiyo ndo cyberbullying itself, actually. Because at the end of the day, why would you use my face to say something bad? Nata, it's not even related to me.
Gordon, to add on Chero's point on issues whether, you see, when you use a cartoonist and a voice that is similar to the person, and using the voice, face that is real, that if this real Gordon, and what he's saying is really real, then using a cartoon and Gordon's voice seems like this is a joke. Now it brings the point of seriousness in a matter. Like if Gordon says like at Kila Kitu we are these gadgets and these ones, and I use his face on someone else and talk about Kila Kitu, they have computers and accessories and so on. You see, the point is always driven. Even you are not the one who said, but the point is home. You see, it is taken serious.
I know maybe once we go to 2025 and what we are looking at the trends coming in the coming year, we'll talk more about that, and also the regulation around AI, especially AI. So is deep fake? Is it deep fake? You need to deep fake.
Yes.
Deep fakes.
Yes.
Fakes or fake.
So deep fakes. So is that AI? What's the difference between Photoshop? Is it Photoshop? Is it?
It's like a Photoshop that is based on AI, or rather controlled by AI. So you just give an instruction of your face and what I need you to do, and then AI will generate and give me something back.
So how should we, positively take advantage of,
I think first of all, AI should be able to set regulatory rules that you cannot use someone else's face unless they allow you to do it.
Okay.
That should be the first regulation. You should not use other people's videos. You see, the same way in YouTube, you can't just use someone's video. In your video, you have to have, that's copyright.
But I think
I have a problem, you guys. It's like saying you cannot use my face on a cartoon. But you see, it is not real, isn't it? It's a fake. Deep fake is, it's not real.
Yeah.
So the issue should be maybe differentiating and saying this is not real, but aren't we curtailing art? Is technology then coming to kill art?
You see, Gordon, on deepfakes, to say that this person is not real, the accuracy is always 99 or something close to 100. So you cannot say that this is not real. So when something is said upon you, it's true. And that's everybody will believe. Then a cartoon is like, let's say 45, because the other one is the voice and so on, what you said, you see. So the issues of deepfakes is more serious on giving the accuracy of something. So you can't say that this is not the person who was saying this information. That now makes it to in a point that sometimes to say that it's not you, you cannot win the conversation.
I think let's leave this to our viewers. What do you guys think about deepfake, and how best do you think AI can be able to regulate that? Now, moving forward, I think we also know that we have a lot of expectations based on tech in this year. And many industries are going to face a lot of changes, and a lot of things are going to be happening. I want us to just dig a bit deep on what's going to be happening, yeah? There's AI automation in many industries, like manufacturing industries, health industry, finance industry. There's automation of AI on things, meaning people are going to lose jobs.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Yep. Because you're going to be using machines to be able to process designers or companies. Wanaweza kuwa wana kazi tena, si ndio? Health industry, if you cannot be able to use medical technology to go on an operation and do something with someone, that's again going to be cut off. So what are we looking forward, and how best do we think we can give solutions? I think you can talk about what industry?
Financial? I think I will talk on media and content creation, because you see, like something that I'm experiencing and I'm working on currently. You see, you can come up with a text and employ key in text and somebody speak, and you didn't have the person at that point. Yeah. Like you didn't have the subject, like a physical person, you only had text. You generate text and transform it to a real person who is speaking, that you could employ someone or a guest to come and speak about something. Oh, yeah. Podcasts are now transformed from text to voice recordings. Yeah. And like they're making a huge trend. And that's a lot of people are going to lose jobs, like podcasters. Like it's not a must you sit down and record. Just take some text, type down, even generate on ChatGPT, take to somewhere else.
Hadi kameramani anaweza kosa kazi. Kameramani.
You see? Yeah. So I think in the media and the content creation space, it's bringing a positive vibe, and it's going as times goes by. Also in 2025, as we are progressing, I think by mid 2025 it will be somewhere.
Okay. I also think I'll go into the educational industry, yeah? So with how tech is coming up, nafikiria sana, it's gonna be a problem to like, say ata mwalimu wa kindergarten. There's a teacher somewhere who's teaching a child, maybe the dad is a whole tech guru, you know? Yako nyumbani anafunzwa this and that way, and then comes to class, teacher anasema, let's do it like this. Why all this hard work? You get? Why are we doing all this? And you know Gen Alphas, they tell you the truth to your face. Mwalimu, I think we can do it like this. You don't even know. Yeah. So I feel like even on the educational industry, most teachers should be able to develop, or rather go to school and learn more about tech and AI and all these things, to be able to feed the kids things that are going to help them in the coming generation.
Yeah. I think I agree. In our days, there was a lot of emphasis on languages. You know, as you finished, class 8, high school, you needed to be good at languages, and then anything else that you're doing. And I think as we move forward, it should be tech and everything else that you're doing. Yeah. Because even the technology is going to replace even, the conversation. If it's, the language is not English or Mandarin or Kiswahili, it's a programming language. So I think just to agree with what Chero is saying, when it comes to education, it's important to look ahead and see what should we be positioning ourselves in doing. Yeah. The KCSE results were released just recently. Yes. And it's I hope that even guys listening to us and watching us, I mean, think about what you want to get into right now. I was just telling us just before the show that I was reading that in the year 2025, the job market survey, globally, we anticipate to lose 92 million jobs. 92 million jobs will be lost in the year 2025. That's global. But on the other hand, 175 new jobs will be created. 175 million new jobs. So the net of it is probably about 80 or something million. Okay. And that brings me to my point. Advancement of technology, of course, has those what we call unintended consequences. Yeah. And one of the unintended consequences of technology will be job losses. people people in traditional, jobs. Okay, and I think this has happened over and over the years.
Kama watu wa
Generations and watu wa posta, waling'oka nje. Yahoo iling'oka nje, BlackBerry iling'oka nje. Although I think those were, bad investment decisions. But I think civilization, every time there's a major advancement in civilization, ever since the days of the chariots and the steam engine, and there's always an unintended consequence that civilization or that advancement brings. If you look at the mobile phone, the things that the mobile phone has been able to replace, diaries, clocks, watches, TVs, money,
Cameras.
cash. I don't say that.
Let's not offend people.
But you see, the mobile phone has come and replaced very, very many jobs. But in the same way, it has created, or rather technology still creates so many other jobs. If you look at big data is going to be big in 2025 and the years ahead. So there are so many jobs that will be created, and from database management, data security, so many jobs will be created as well. If you look at, of course, the Internet of Things. Okay, the Internet of Things, of course, is replacing robotics. No issues to do with robotics. You go somewhere and you don't have physical or human waiters. Unaketi chini tu, unaitisha order yako hapo, alafu kabrobot kanakuja kanakuletea kenye unataka. Ukimaliza kanatoa kabil, unaingisha pesa ama una scan card. Okay? So we might say, in the real sense, that we are wiping out waiter jobs. But you know what we are doing on the other hand? We have created a programmer. The guy who is going to be programming. We have created a security guy. So the point shouldn't really be the fear of the jobs that we are going to lose, but ask ourselves, how do you position yourself to take advantage of the opportunities that tech is bringing in the job market?
True.
I think on that, it's a wake for maybe those who are the jobs that are at risk to be overtaken by AI. People now to start transitioning and getting to know more about AI and tech on how they can employ them in their activities. Like if we talk about media is a space or an industry that if we not transition as the tech is going, we'll find ourselves, the mainstream media is not of use to us. Like currently, how many people watch TV? Like, or something like that, you see? Or the things that we use to make, some nowadays people do not have time to watch 30 minutes thing. So how do you make it simpler for other people to view it? And as you scroll like TikTok, 2 seconds, someone has gotten the information. Then explaining the information in 30 minutes, like an advert, you make it like an advert.
So Cheryl, you're a student. Tech. What are you studying?
Information technology, but I'm specializing in software engineering.
Sasa hiyo ni kusema?
Okay, so basically it means that I'm in the field of IT, but I'm not specializing in software engineering. Meaning this same AI you're talking about, these same programs and all those programmed networks, I am the one who will go back kama kufanyia service. So if there's a coding change you need, you will have to go back to the server through me to change the service. I'm the one to work with a cyber security guy to make sure their security from the server and everywhere their database is secured. Vitu kama hizo, yani to make sure the tires are moving na imekwa oil, brake pads ziko sawa, basically like that based on a computer.
All right, so because with so much training in tech, my question would really go on, a lot of people are now getting into the field of technology, even programming and software. Are we in tandem from a regulations point? Are we well regulated? I think we just had a conversation on the deepfakes. How is that regulation space? Today, I think, is it Communication Authority or Ministry of ICT is releasing the AI strategy, the Kenya AI strategy and policy paper. I don't know what is in that document and what are we looking at in terms of regulation for AI especially.
Basically, in terms of regulation, first of all, AI does not have an age limit, to be honest. It's not a place that will tell you have to be 18 and over to
And by the way,
access
what is AI? Situanze hapo.
Sasa hiyo wacha tuache wa research. Aya tukisa homework yao itakuwa nini? Why do you always give them the fruits?
But what is AI in terms of what is AI?
In short, AI is artificial intelligence. It is a software that is used to be able to manipulate and do everything in one. Like it's a place utaingia uulize, hi AI, would you help me know who Gordon Mtugi is? Itanipatia all the...
Si hata Google itafanya hivyo.
Hapana.
So what is the difference?
The difference is it's more detailed. Like, unlike Google, AI can explain, not only give you on state wale wenye wameji register in Google or rather nini. It will let you know, Gordon Mutugi does this and this and this and that. There's also a Gordon Mutugi who does this and this and that. Not unless you're famous on Google, you will not be found there.
In simple terms, on my personal understanding, I could say AI is human beyond human.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brains.
Human beyond brains, or something like that.
So it's basically programming intelligence.
Yeah.
And,
in a nutshell.
And putting the almost human intelligence into a machine.
Yeah, but one that cannot forget. Unajua yetu RAM yetu inakuanga kadogo sana. Kidogo processing yetu inakuanga chini as human beings because we have emotions and all these things, but AI doesn't. So it can never forget you if we research, and then it has memory. So if you research on something, AI can be able to even give you the past researches you did and can tell you in general kama umelearn.
And by the way, on that, I started using ChatGPT back in 2024, January around. I gave it my information. I tried this year to find out if ChatGPT remembers what I fed it last year. Do you know Jacob Moronge? Yes, Jacob Moronge does this and this. Any other thing that you know about Jacob Moronge? It gave everything now in the history of what I've been researching about. Yeah.
So then, again, I want to go back to regulation and government role and especially what has been happening in the political space.
Yeah.
First of all, going back to what I had mentioned, realizing that every major civilization is met with resistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can imagine when the calculator was coming in, the mathematicians must really have opposed it. I mean, see, cram the multiplication table. And mobile phones, watches, every major technological advancement has resistance.
Yeah.
There is a lot of resistance at the moment to AI and fear, okay? And the reason I mentioned the regulation being rolled out by government is because of what we've been seeing from the political, space. And I want us to spend about a minute or so and discuss, especially from last year's riots, okay, to the deep fakes that are going on, to the intended regulations. What space are we seeing ourselves playing in as far as AI is concerned, and social activism and social and political activism?
If I start, I think on regulation, regulating AI as I think it's a responsibility of a country or a state to just regulate what is being consumed by its citizens. You see, according to the harm it is creating on her citizens. You see, like, for example, in Kenya, maybe we may complain of deepfakes. AI bring the issues of deepfakes and bring a divide in the political space. But in other countries, in the US, maybe it's on a positive side. So you can't tell the AI guys or those who are in the AI space to just regulate because Kenya is used to deepfakes in a negative way. It's Kenya to come up with a structure in which it regulates how its people uses AI or technology for their own good or for their own bad. Yes.
Okay. Well, for me, I feel like in terms of regulation, we are a democratic country to start there. Okay. So people have the freedom of speech and the people have the power.
So people are free to kasongos and draw kasongo.
Nataka tuende pamoja. Sawa. Nataka tuende
No, you said we're in a
pamoja.
democratic.
I had to start with that because again, it's a democratic country.
No, by the disclaimer for the show, we are just talking of what is happening.
Yeah.
We neither support, not against. We are just discussing from a tech point.
We are neutral.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
we're in a democratic society.
yes, in this society, there's, again, like we said, there's so much going on. There's so many things that can be said and done in the internet. But when it comes to regulation, I feel like any person who owns an account into social media, say Twitter or something, the regulation should be based on what is this person posting, okay? If you're posting anything offensive that would cause a big alarm, you know there's good riots, by the way. Kuna maandamano mzuri na inabamba until it gets to the point where it becomes disrespectful to the people, disrespectful to the leaders, and also disrespectful to what we have as a people
So,
in
Chero,
the country.
you're trying to mean that everybody should take responsibility of regulating him or herself on
Period. That's all I'm trying to say.
In the eyes
You
of,
should be able
so
to
who
regulate
then
yourself.
determines that you have correctly regulated yourself?
The person who's offended. Because
who
if
will-
I offend you, Gordon, I don't offend him. Sindio? So I'm the person with you who's supposed to know where when Dominico and this is how.
All right. So what is the role of, social activism? What is the role of art, for example, in...
In regulating.
No. What is the role of art, for example, in socio or political activism? Let me give you an example. Just before you were born, our days.
All right.
And I keep
Inakuwa
using that
personal.
one.
Inakuwa personal.
Okay, fine. What is do you know what ridiculous is?
Uh-uh.
Good. So just before you were born, there was a show called Ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay. So when Ridiculous hit the screens, I mean, it was the biggest thing. I think viewership would be now 60-70%. And what Ridiculous did was basically imitate the then president, Daniel Arap Moi. There was a minister called JJ Kamodo. Please Google. No, AI that. AI that.
I think
This-
from,
this
the,
show.
from
that.
my age where I found XYZ
Yes,
show.
XYZ show was what probably your generation now. The Uhuru, the Uhuru presidency
Mwai Kibaki to
Uhuru
hapo,
presidency.
yeah.
So before that, there was Ridiculous.
Okay.
And the most ridiculous thing is that right now, one of the guys who are in the trio,
Yeah.
the current member of parliament for Dagoretti, is it North or South? KJ. KJ was one of the trio. Okay. And they brought to us art as a political activism. So they would, imitate Moi. They would, keep government in check by basically showing what Moi is doing. And of course, you can imagine the outcry from the political hongos of the time, and saying, these guys are doing the wrong thing. They should be. How can you imitate Moi? How can you come with a rungu?
Yeah.
And speak like Moi, act like Moi. But you see, to me, our Ridiculous is your Kasongo. Because it was art at that time.
Okay.
All right. Our art and activism at that time, we didn't have AI.
Yeah.
But we had creativity on TV. Today, we have art. We have someone who is able to generate through AI a person live on stage and makes it, this is the president.
Yeah.
So then what is the difference, if I may then ask? Cartoons, Ridiculous, AI today, and Kasong, aren't we just living the same activism in different times?
Time zones.
I think what you mean is how the uptake is like when we use the ridiculous XYZ and the Kasongo, the Kaongo thing currently. Now it's being taken a negative side than how it was being taken when it was bringing together a crowd. Like people were into the ridiculous and XYZ. But now when you talk of Kasongo and Kaongo and the cartoonists, it's being bad than what we were experiencing before. I think it's the trail from how things have been happening from 2024 June. Now it's the one that is bringing it to be like, this is not something usual because people are going beyond. This is how it started at this stage. And it went to this Geneza point. And now it's going to the issues of deepfakes. These are becoming personal. And you see, now bring in the issues of AI, bring the context to a real thing that's not now a cartoon like XYZ. Like, these are
Yeah, but because we didn't have AI.
Yeah.
The reason the cartoons were cartoons. If we had AI then, the cartoons will be probably more real.
Yeah.
So our cartoon today is a deepfake.
Is a deepfake.
I think
so. You want to mean, Gordon, that we should just take it, relate with the cartoons and take it as a normal thing and not question?
I mean, my view is the only thing that we need is regulation.
Yeah.
You know, regulation in as far as you take, for example, from a commercial point.
Yeah.
We had a big issue with alcohol and tobacco, okay, in this country. And there were people saying, you know what, tobacco is bad, we should ban tobacco. All right?
Yeah.
Others were saying, no, alcohol is, we should ban alcohol. But what did we do? What did government do at that time? You sell your tobacco, but you should have a disclaimer, which is 30% of the pack in black and white, and say that smoking cigarettes causes liver cirrhosis, causes. So you have a disclaimer, you know, so you still consume it. So what we need to have is regulation and say, just have, if you put out, you know, a deepfake, just put a disclaimer and say, this is not true image of so and so. Because it is to another point, it is art.
Yeah.
Okay, it is art, is a way of communicating, and I really don't feel like we should become offended if people draw us. Okay, but there should be regulation by the people drawing so that they don't deceive the public. So maybe that's how I would look at it. I don't know about.
Hapo naweza sema wise man.
We should now leave it with the Ministry of ICT and the Communication Authority of Kenya in terms of regulation, if they will. But for the current generation, it will take time.
Okay. Also, technology is bringing a certain sustainability in so many things we're doing right now in this year. So I would start off with it like climate change. Through AI, we are able to understand and more likely manipulate what is about to happen with our climate change. And we were looking the other day at, tukianza January 2024, tulikuwa na mvua. Hakuna January tuliona ikiwa na mvua kama hiyo. Ever before. That was climate change, right? But at that time, we didn't even have knowledge about AI that much. It was just starting to restructure and get to a point where we now understand it. So how do you think AI will help us in terms of things like climate change, circulation of the economy, and clean energy in the technology sector, you know, such things and such things? How do you think we would do best with AI this year? I
think employing AI to fight some of the disasters or the crises that we are experiencing currently. You have talked about climate change that's centered in.
Okay.
I think the issues of climate change with AI, it mostly depends on issues of social media and how we utilize social media, and also some of the AI equipments in maybe spreading information or coming up with content that is is educating the community or advocating for a certain change in the
instead of people using deepfakes to do that.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. That was a very good point. We should not just use AI to make the moral or rather political side of our lives very complicated. We can use it to explain to people why you should not be using so many plastics, you should not be throwing out plastics. You know, let's just make it a better place to be able to nurture and grow our people.
I think for us, maybe I would, talk about what we are doing, at Kila Kitu, for example.
Okay.
We are a lifestyle e-commerce platform. And what we are doing is that we are trying to leverage on technological advancements.
Okay.
Number one, to bridge the entire retail chain, from supplies to the market, to inventory control. And we feel that there's an opportunity to do things very differently, even from, importation, distribution, sale of products.
Okay.
So we approach sustainability more from a point of doing things clean.
Yeah.
The whole clean energy,
clean.
the clean conversation.
Yes.
So from a kila kitu point, we really embraced the issues of sustainability, especially in technology. We actually are driving that quite well and quite fast. But besides what we're doing with at Kila Kitu, I feel that technology and AI in 2025 and going forward will have a very big say in energy, issues to do with energy. I think energy is a very big conversation.
Yeah.
It's probably the second biggest conversation after tech in the world today. Issues to do with technology is going to cause more requirement in energy. Why am I saying that? If you look at the rollout of the Internet of Things issues, everything is mechanized, everything is computerized. You go to your house, everything will just be running on electricity. From your fridge, you'll be telling your fridge, I'm about to come home, so start warming the food.
Fridge, wow.
Yeah, I mean, the fridge, the food is cold, it's frozen.
Yeah.
So you need to start thawing the food by the time I get to the house.
Yeah.
And then, we'll get there.
Of
and
course.
A robot will take it to the coffee maker. Coffee maker, I'm about to get to the house. I want to get my cup of coffee.
Close the curtains.
Correct.
Shut the windows.
Shut the windows. It's about to rain. Fold the clothes. So
Amen.
You can imagine the amount of energy,
the
amount of energy that the world will need in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Population increase, a lot of equipment, a lot of technology. So I think there's a relationship between sustainability and technology in as far as energy is concerned. So I believe that technology will be able to drive new ways of storing that energy. I think it's a big conversation about energy storage right now. We have power banks, we have phones, for example, which must be charged after 1 day.
Yeah.
Okay, that is if you are lucky to have an iPhone, as she told us she does. There are those which will probably have to charge every 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like mine, even it's 1%.
It's 1%. So now this is where now sustainability comes in.
Yeah.
As we manufacture and go into equipment that have to use power.
Oh, yes.
How are we going to get into the area of energy storage? You can imagine the person who discovers a power bank that can, keep power for 1 week, or a phone battery that can go for 25 days, not 24 hours. Then the last one, of course, in as far as energy is concerned, is the transmission. Energy transmission. As we look at tech, we look at 3 different, columns. You're either talking of hardware, connectivity, or applications.
Yeah.
You're either the physical equipment or the internet and the transmission, that is the internet issues, or the applications. All that will require energy. Okay. So energy storage, energy transmission, and alternative energy. I think that to me is how the relationship I see between sustainability and technology going into 2025, 2026.
Okay. So I was also thinking about quantum computing. I don't know if anyone has heard that before. But
Tafadhali hatuko class ya
Takers na mtaratara.
Ati what?
Quantum computing. This is where a computer or other software can be able to do a lot of things within a very short time and very quick and yani sure bet iko sawa. So I'll give this in a situation where tuseme like a hospital, yeah? So when you go in as a patient, they'll take in your details, know your allergies, blah, 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 medications you've been on, sindio. So this quantum computing is the software that will be able to send that information mpaka kwa surgeon, seme kama alikuwa apate surgery. Mpaka kwa surgeon, to the nurse who will perform jioni, to the nurse who will be there during the day, to the doctor who's gonna see them. It like, in short, bring every data enye ungeshinda have kutuma na mail, ama have kutuma na nini. So when we include quantum software computing njia za hizo, like now in kila kitu, To help you also do blockchain, you can use quantum computing, because stock take yako ikichukuliwa like straight from where the stock take was taken into the system, you will have it duplicated directly, even when stock like ikitolewa tena.
When it's out of stock.
Yeah, even when you're out of stock itakuambia. Even when you need to like have a shipment coming in next week, itakuambia. Because in short, it takes a whole program on how you do things to help you just run. So yeah, such things I've also put out diaries. Because sasa kuna, you know, me used to see my old man used to write everything he's gonna do next week. I'm telling you, the thing is he's gonna do next week, ataanza kuandika chini on a diary and all that. Right now your quantum matter, I don't think secretaries in offices will
sasa
be
watu wa
needed
printing
that much.
wafunge.
Sasa mimi naona tu ni sad, but
I mean, you know, when you think about it,
Yeah.
I mean, almost every other sector, the opportunity, of course, coming with technology,
Yeah.
but it's wiping out, you know, the traditional jobs, the
Nenda
traditional ways
ikipotea.
of doing things out.
Yeah.
And I hope people, especially if you're listening to us or watching us, smell the coffee. You know,
Yeah.
like the change is now. It is never late to go back to school. Okay, it is never late to start doing things differently. But I don't see society sustaining as it is in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Because of technology.
Oh yes, but again, musikwe left out in technology. Kila kitu has you covered.
Yeah, we got your back.
Mneza get it actually online. Like you can literally just sit down and
Our
on your
slogan
seat.
is, you need it, we got you.
Hey, say it again.
If you need it, we got you.
Ndio hiyo sasa. So like you can be able to order whatever you need, ask for whatever you need, and they will be able to deliver it to you. Usiachwe nyuma na technology. Unasikia watu wanasema AI na unatumia kabambe, you're like, "Hai? Kwani makosa yangu ni gani?" Anyway, that's about it. Also, let us know the questions you want us to talk about, topics you'd want us to keep talking about in the near future, and what you're experiencing personally. We would like to also be reading them out here. And then before we close out, I wanted us to effectively talk about our industries now personally. How and what are your plans to work with AI and tech this year?
On my side, talking about media and content creation, digital media, if you don't want to be among the 92 million people who are going to lose jobs in this year, embrace technology and AI, be on the look on the latest trends in 2025 and how you're going to implement them in your already vanishing career or in your already vanishing job or you are doing, and put them in practice, and you'll be on the right safer side.
Oh, okay. I guess again with content creation for you guys, I feel like you have an upper side, because AI is bringing us not only 3K but 4K content. Yani, you guys are bringing us quality on quality.
Yeah.
And it's not so hard for people to learn about what gadgets they need to use right now, right? See, it's so easy. You go AI. I want to be able to create a YouTube video and be like, "Hi, my subscribers, blah, 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 blah," you know?
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I'm not going to look for someone who can create the content. Let me just check on AI.
In fact, with the trend, like I said, by June, if we embrace it well, you can start your production of a podcast seated on your computer till the final product of even analytics on social media sites.
Wow.
Just seated there without even going in the field.
Hey, that's beautiful.
That's how good AI
That's
and
really
tech is going
beautiful.
to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So on my side, I feel like technology is going to be a big change for me on my side, because we are getting more and more competition from every side. And you can't be left out. Like, inakimbia syllabus iko tu hapa. You sit down, you think you know this, unaambiwa hai, unadhani unajua ChatGPT, try Gemini. You can even take a photo, you can do this, you can do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much going on in terms of trend. But what I'd tell any other student like me, know what you can do best and do it the best. Because hata ukianza ku keep up na every trend, you cannot keep up with every course that is in the technology sector. Just be the best at what you're doing. And go updated to follow. Tech-wise, tutakuonyesha updates.
I think for me, you know, more of from a kilakitu.co.ke point of view. Of course, we believe in leveraging technology to give a seamless retail environment.
Okay.
So we are not just an e-commerce platform. First of all, we are saying we are a lifestyle e-commerce platform because we want you to get into the app. By the way, we download the app.
Ndo niliona imeingia iOS. I'm about to do it after this. Congratulations.
Kama hamja download this kuja hapa next week.
Then we do
Pole,
it right
pole.
away.
Pia subscribe, download, tusikwe tunakuambia tu.
Pia director tafadhali upload. So I think for us, and so we have, given the customers an app. You can be on USSD, and at the same time you can be also just on online. And what we want to do is to just make an integrated retail chain. Sasa wewe ni student. Sasa tuseme unataka kuanza side hustle. Okay? Na unataka kuuza phone covers. Okay? Sasa kuja kila kitu as a
seller.
Good. Sasa utakuja as a seller. Ukuja as a seller, utuambie, by the way, mimi this is the category I want. And since we are creating that integrated retail chain, you don't have to go to China to bring.
Okay. Hey, mambo mzuri hapa
Okay, so anza kusave help. Una help?
Tumekata. God is our provider.
Sasa you just say, okay, you know what? I want to get into this market segment. So we give you an opportunity to just have the app with you, and you can manage your business just from the app. We are going to order for you. Okay, because we are in the retail business, we will make sure that we link you up with a supplier who is already, in our platform. Your merchandise will come, and then you don't even need to sell or to employ salespeople, because the platform has an area for sales agents. Okay, so if you hata wewe sasa side hustle kesho ni kila kitu.
Starting right away. I was downloading the app right now.
Okay, so once you download, you can always go there as a reseller, you can go there as a seller, you can go there as an agent. And of course, most important is our consumers, people who need to download. Right now, we are everything tech. Okay, so mbosho hatujaanza ku distribute.
Okay, mbosho
but
anything
tech. Anything tech,
anything.
You want CPUs, you want laptops, you want tablets, you want monitors, anything tech.
Scanners.
You want scanners, you want chargers, anything tech, we got you. You need it, we got you. But most important, and especially for this conversation, is that we want to create a sustainable model. All those things we are discussing. Leveraging AI, leveraging the tech advancements that we see going forward in the next couple of years, and just making sure that we are part of the community that is creating technology for humanity. Creating technology for humanity, and not just caricature and social media and negative technology impact. So that's what we look at, especially for me, going forward and looking at 2025.
Okay, great. And also, just to be very precise, because I notice people these days when it comes to technology stuff or rather apps and all that, they're very afraid because of their data security. So I am very sure, and I will take this to the bank, that in kila kitu data yako iko safe. You will not find
100%.
yourself ukikuwa umesainiwa into places you didn't even expect.
Data na pesa.
Oh, for real? Hadi pesa. Unajua hiyo ni important.
That is very important. And maybe next week we should talk a little bit about security. Issues to do with security. As far as tech is concerned, there's a lot of security that is required. For us, we've invested a lot, in making sure that because of hacks, you can imagine lots of people can be hacked. Your wallet can be hacked. Your purchase can be intercepted. So we have invested a lot of in security, just to make sure that the entire chain, from our suppliers to our customers, all of them are covered, and they have the comfort of trading and having a safe trading environment.
Okay, that's great. It's good that we have all talked about what we are doing and how tech is going to affect us in this year. We'd also want to hear from you guys. If you guys have a story to tell us on how tech is taking you, or where, or even when you don't know where tech is going to take you. Maybe hapa ndio utakuja uongee and you're like, maybe that's a good idea, I could start that. You can always talk to us on the comment section below, and we will invite you on our show one of these good days. We will have you give us your story here. yeah, so far I feel like it's a wrap for us. Not unless am I putting anyone outside?
No.
Nisikuwa nimeacha mtu nje.
No,
we're
maybe
good.
let me ask then, what's your big event for the week? What are you
My
looking
big
forward to?
event for the week. Enyewe sina form. Nothing so big.
Angalau kuwatch football.
Football. Mi ni baby girl. Sijui hiyo ni kusema nini.
Of course the big I see
My
the
new
cameraman
guys, we know nothing.
Of course, just to remind you that Arsenal, this is our season that we have been telling you.
Yeah.
Keep an eye.
Sikia sasa. Anyway. Yeah, so msijali again mimi this weekend what do you have? It sounded like you have cooking plans for the weekend. Is it a tech thing tunaweza invite?
No. I mean the big event is just counting at least 21 days in January.
Wow. Wow,
Just
that's a good
9
thing.
more days.
It was supposed to be 40 days, but we thank God that he has 9 more days remaining. And yeah, that's about it. So this is it for us, guys. Thank you so much for being with us till this far. This is Tech YZ. We thank you, our sponsors, Kila Kitu, for being with us. Also, you can check our social platforms just below the screen hapo. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to comment. I would really want to be here reading your comments. Please, guys, remember to comment, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Nice.